Imagine waking up tomorrow in a world where everyone lived by Islamic values. Not where everyone was Muslim necessarily, but where the core principles of Islam were universally practiced. What would that world look like? Let's explore this thought experiment, and you might be surprised by what we discover. First, let's talk about honesty. Islam makes truthfulness a fundamental requirement of faith. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Truthfulness leads to righteousness, and righteousness leads to paradise." In a world where everyone lived by this principle, no more fake news, no political lies, no corporate fraud, no false advertising, business conducted with transparency, politicians speaking truth, media reporting facts. The economic impact alone would be staggering. Think how much society wastes dealing with dishonesty. Legal systems, fraud departments, investigations, all redirected to productive purposes. Second, consider charity. Islam mandates that those with wealth give a portion to those who don't. It's called zakat, 2.5% of your savings annually to help the poor, needy, orphans, and those in debt. In a world where everyone practiced this, extreme poverty would be virtually eliminated. If everyone with wealth gave just 2.5% annually, there'd be more than enough to ensure no one goes hungry, no child is uneducated, no sick person lacks medical care. Third, let's talk about justice. The Quran commands, "Be persistently standing firm in justice, witnesses for Allah, even if it be against yourselves or parents or relatives. Justice, even if it hurts you personally." In a world governed by this principle, no corruption, no bribes, no justice system favoring the wealthy. A king and commoner would face the same consequences for the same crime. No one would be above the law. Fourth, consider respect for parents. Islam places caring for parents among the highest acts of worship. The Quran says, "Your Lord has decreed that you worship none but Him and that you be dutiful to your parents." In a world where everyone honored this, no nursing homes where elderly are abandoned, no parents dying alone, the elderly would be valued for their wisdom, cared for with love. The social security crisis? Solved, because children would naturally care for their aging parents. Fifth, let's talk about modesty. Islam teaches both men and women to interact with dignity and respect. In a world where these values were practiced, no objectification of women in advertising, no hookup culture leaving people emotionally damaged, no sexual harassment in workplaces. Men and women would interact with mutual respect, valued for character and contributions rather than appearance. The mental health impact would be enormous. So much anxiety and depression comes from constant pressure to be physically attractive and sexually available. Islamic modesty removes that pressure. Sixth, consider the prohibition of alcohol and intoxicants. In a world without alcohol and drugs, no drunk driving deaths. That's over 10,000 lives saved annually in the US alone. No addiction epidemics destroying families. No alcohol-related violence. Healthcare costs would plummet. Productivity would soar. Families would stay intact. Seventh, let's talk about environmental stewardship. Islam teaches that humans are caretakers of the earth. The Prophet said, "The world is green and beautiful, and Allah has appointed you as His stewards over it." In a world practicing Islamic environmental ethics, no overconsumption, no wasteful pollution, people would use what they need, conserve resources, protect creation for future generations. The climate crisis? We'd be solving it through conscious, faithful living. Eighth, consider work ethic. Islam teaches that honest work is worship. The Prophet said, "Nobody has eaten better food than that from the work of his own hands." In a world embracing this balance, people would be productive but not burned out. They'd work hard but also prioritize family, health, and spiritual growth. The perfect work-life balance that modern society struggles to find? Islam prescribed it 1,400 years ago. Ninth, let's talk about conflict resolution. Islam commands Muslims to make peace, to forgive those who wrong them, and to respond to evil with good. In a world following this principle, grudges would be released, feuds would end, reconciliation would be valued over revenge. Imagine how many conflicts, from personal disputes to international wars, could be avoided. 10th, consider the prohibition of exploitative economics. Islam forbids interest because it creates wealth inequality and enslaves people in debt. In a world without predatory interest, no student debt crisis trapping young people, no credit card companies profiting from desperation, no housing market bubbles. The 2008 financial crisis, it couldn't have happened under Islamic economic principles. Now, I know you're thinking, this sounds utopian and unrealistic, and you're right, it would require a massive shift. But that's not the point. The point is, Islamic values, when actually practiced, create better individuals and better societies. The problems we face today, inequality, injustice, addiction, family breakdown, environmental destruction, Islam addressed them all 1,400 years ago with practical solutions. You don't have to become Muslim to appreciate that a world following these principles would be dramatically better. And that should tell you something. If Islam's values would create the world we all wish we lived in, maybe there's truth in Islam's source. These aren't just good ideas from a wise philosopher. Muslims believe these are commandments from the Creator who knows what's best for His creation. So what if the whole world lived by Islamic values? We'd have a world of honesty, charity, justice, modesty, sobriety, environmental care, balanced work, peace, and fair economics. We'd have a better world. And here's the beautiful part. You don't have to wait for the whole world to change. You can start living by these values today. You can be honest, charitable, just, modest, and kind right now. Maybe that's the first step towards Islam, not studying theology, but simply starting to live by these values and seeing how they transform your life.